how is this festive season taking you? I hope you're doing fine with your family. And today I want to basically make a video on the security in the Greater Lakes region, that is the East Africa. And I want you to listen to a video by the Burundi president that came out yesterday. Before I continue, please let's listen to the video.
Ibiganiro turabazwa nuko gushika ubu novuga nti twarananiwe kuko iyo tutananirwa baba barabaduhaye. Iyo migwi ihabwa indaro, ihabwa ivyo kurya, ihabwa amabiro bakoreramwo, ihabwa amahera n'igihugu bicayemo. Naho mu Rwanda nohanura igihugu cy'u Rwanda yuko comenya ko babandanije barera umuntu ariko ariyica inzoya, bariko bari mu Rwanko, bariko bari mu mugera w'inzankano hagati y'abene gihugu b'ivyo bihugu bibiri. Kuko ntivyumvikana ingene uheza kugaburira umuntu agaca aza kwica umuntu mu mwana, umutamakazi n'umutama, hanyuma ukazovuga ngo abarundi bazoguma banezerewe cyane bariko babona aho hantu abo bantu barerewe.
So let me translate it for you. What the Burundi president is saying is that these rebels, so he starts by saying, we are tired because these rebels are hosted in a neighboring country. They are trained, armed, and given financial support by a known neighboring country, and then sent to come and kill innocent Burundi civilians. And he goes ahead to say, then what do you expect the Burundi people to think of the citizens of that neighboring country? Will they view them as friendly neighbors or enemies? So in this case, he refers to Rwanda. There's no secret about that. And what Rwanda is doing is that they train this RED-Tabara. And sometimes I ask myself, right, am I a prophet or what? Because as you can see from this screen here, I made this video some few days ago, and I talked about this attack. So I talked about RED-Tabara. So I talked about it because it was breaking news on the 23rd of this month, and then went ahead to provide a document from no other than the United Nations Security Council and the US Department of Defense that had done a research through what they called an international NGO based in Congo, and this UN group of experts helped by this US sponsored NGO had evidence to prove that in 2016 RED-Tabara and two other Burundi armed groups had received training and support from Rwandan individuals, including Rwandan military personnel. And it is also said that a lot of people or fighters in the RED-Tabara are the Burundi Tutsis. So it's like the Tutsi regime in Rwanda is trying to assist Tutsi elements to overthrow the government in Burundi, and so that they can install a Tutsi president, even though the Tutsis in Burundi are a minority, just like they are in Rwanda. So that is the same narrative of the Hima empire thing between what Paul Kagame and Museveni keep talking about. And the son of President Museveni, he keeps talking about that too. And basically, it's the same thing. So you understand, it's like Rwanda, in this video, actually, I said it, has it's the home of international school of rebels in East and Central Africa, because the only place that people are fighting other than Sudan is near Rwanda, and not because Rwanda is the victim, and not because Rwanda is under threat from Congo or Burundi, but because the opposite is true. Because Rwanda is actually the threat in that region. And this is a fact that people keep ignoring. Now, moving on. Today, I want to tell you a story. So the story that has been trending in the place where I am in Kenya is that Anne Rwigara. So please remember the name. Anne Rwigara is the sister of Diane Rwigara. In this photo, you can see the lady with the white is Diane Rwigara. And the man there seated there is the father. I think his name was David Rwigara. I'm not sure, I will confirm, but he's the Rwigara. And the other daughter is the sister to Diane. Her name is Anne Rwigara. So what happened is that she was killed, poisoned. And it is a signature move by Rwandan operatives. They kill the people they consider a threat or dissident. They also harbor a grudge. You know, Kagame and his regime, they harbor a grudge on anyone who basically defies them. Mostly if you are a Tutsi and you go against them, they see you as a traitor and they assassinate you. Of course, for the Hutus, they jail them. But the Tutsi, they have to send a message to other Tutsis, so they assassinate them. Yeah, of course, that means the Rwigaras are Tutsis.
I know I can do a better job than the RPF, the party in power. They are afraid of me.
And what happened is that the wife of Paul Kagame, Janet, wanted a share or shareholding in the companies that this man Rwigara had. So he owned the largest cigarette manufacturer in Rwanda and Uganda and other companies. So she wanted a share, just like she has shares in almost every Rwandan owned company that is powerful there. But the man Rwigara says that during the struggle, that they call it a struggle, as the RPF, that is the Tutsi group that was part of the rebel group in the 90s, he was the one or among those people who used to sponsor and finance the group. So he says then they should respect him. And that kind of created a grudge, and he was assassinated by the Kagame family. And after that, the daughter, Diane, was living in Belgium. She was working there as an accountant or a financial analyst. And her sister Anne was living in the United States. She was there as also working as an IT expert. They came back home to bury their father, and the eldest daughter decided not to go back to Belgium. Instead, she started being an activist. You know, activism, which is banned in Rwanda. It's a taboo there. And then she started saying she's going to vie for presidency. And they tried to block her. Kagame used his army of bloggers, you know, the same guys who attack me online, to try to mudslinging her by photoshopping her on a naked body to call her basically a prostitute in Belgium. But the people in Rwanda still loved her. So she was able to collect 1 million signatures that were required for endorsement to run as a presidential candidate.
A lot of things were done, tried to undermine my campaign. I announced my intention to run on May 3rd, and less than 48 hours later, nude pictures were spread on the internet, WhatsApp, Facebook. During the collection of the signatures, the people working with me were harassed. Some were put in jail. They were told that signing for me was treasonous.
Then after that, they then started looking for trumped up charges, saying that the Rwigara family has been evading taxes. So that's when they jailed everyone in that family. So they jailed, I'm trying to look for that photo I'd seen somewhere. They jailed the mother, they jailed, here it is. So they jailed the daughter, and they jailed the mother, I don't know her name. Then they jailed Diane, you know, and her brother, he was 17, the boy. They jailed all of them. And then after they went to court, the judge released the boy and the other sister, Anne. And then Anne was exiled alongside her brother, but Diane Rwigara is still in jail. We don't know why. Her mother is still in jail because of not keeping her daughter in check. And now, even after this the young ones, the young kids, Diane and the brother, went outside to live in the United States, Kagame managed to send operative to go and assassinate them. Now, so you understand the story. But the other thing I want to tell you is that, look here, people across Africa are beginning to know that Paul Kagame is actually a murderer. His regime is very despotic. And this is a guy from Ghana. Look at him. He's asking. The pro-Rwanda media houses in Ghana and CNN and all those ones, they have not reported about Rwigara's family, the main opposition to Paul Kagame, and the latest news about Anne Rwigara. So that is the story. If you go there to Twitter, you'll find it. And then you go to this one here. This lady is this blogger is from Kenya. As you can see, they're asking the same thing, and so on and so on. But basically, I want to tell you that Rwanda is one country that has been spending a lot of money to basically clean the image, the stinking stench of the Kagame regime, to make Rwanda look good. But people are starting to notice that Rwanda is a dictatorial, despotic regime and a murderer's regime. This guy here is a Kikuyu guy. He's from Kenya. So he says, we know Rwandese, the Rwandans people, can't criticize Paul Kagame or call him out because their freedom of expression is under siege. Yes, Rwanda doesn't have freedoms. Any freedom. The fact that you are living and breathing in Rwanda is because the government decides you do that. If tomorrow they decide they don't want you to continue living, they come for you. There's no freedom in Rwanda. You can't go to court. All the judges and lawyers in Rwanda are members of the ruling party, RPF. They do what the party tells them. It's worse than North Korea. Almost similar anyway. So he also goes to say, but we as Kenyans, we shall call the dictator out and expose him to the world. Yes. So Kenyans are actually also beginning to realize that Rwanda is not what we keep talking about. Recently, a minister of transport in Kenya on national TV said, unlike Kenya, Kenya has to follow the rules of law, and if they step out of line, people will go to court. But in Rwanda, the president says something and it is done. So that's what he said on national television. You can go and look up that. So look at this guy here. He's from Kenya. So this is what he's saying. I thought William Ruto, the president of Kenya, of course, was bad until I met Paul Kagame. At least Ruto has never thought of harming the opposition leader Raila Odinga or his family. Kagame is doing in Rwanda is unreal. So Paul Kagame is a very uneducated, crybaby kind of. That guy never went to school. So he harbors a certain stupid grudge. He doesn't know the difference between office work and personal life. He personalizes everything. So he's a president of Rwanda, basically the dictator of Rwanda, and he's also Paul Kagame. But he always thinks that even when people question the presidency because they have to, because they are paying tax and the constitution allows them to do that, to him he thinks that they are questioning Paul Kagame. No, they're questioning the president, whoever is in that office at that moment. People have to question, because if I'm paying you my taxes, I have a right to, ask questions about whether you are supposed to do what you are doing. So Paul Kagame, because he's, as I said, illiterate, he always personalizes political issues as if it is a personal attack on his person. So he has that grudge, and now he unleashes his team of assassins. He has assassins, a team of assassins who will follow you wherever you are in the world, and they either poison you or kill you. They've done that in South Africa. They've done that in Kenya. They do it all the time in Uganda. They've gone to Canada to assassinate Rwandan dissidents, and so on. So A lot of people are talking and giving out condolences to the oppressed people of Rwanda. Kagame's hand is visible in this woman's death, no doubt. Rest in peace. This is the activist from Uganda, and he's currently in exile because he went against the Museveni family, and so on.